Hey everyone, and welcome to Bite-Sized Tactics. In this video we're going to be looking at the Vindicator, one of the older models in the Space Marine range. So the profile of the Vindicator is that it has a 9-inch movement, has a toughness of 11, a 2+ armor save, 11 wounds, a 6+ leadership and an OC of 3, and the unit currently costs 190 points. Going over the Vindicator's keywords, the smoke keyword will allow you to use the pop smoke stratagem, and the vehicle keyword is important for stratagems and abilities throughout the game. For its abilities, it has Deadly Demise D3, and it has an inbuilt one called Siege Shield. So this unit can still use its Demolisher Cannon against the enemy unit that it's in combat with, as long as no friendly units are also in combat with that unit, and also you don't suffer the -1 to hit penalty that most monsters or vehicles suffer when shooting out of combat. Now looking at its weapons, it's equipped with a Demolisher Cannon, which has the Blast ability, and with D6 plus 3 attacks at Strength 14, minus 3 AP and D6 damage. It's very powerful, and it can do a lot of damage to many different types of units. And it also has its Armored Tracks, which isn't that great at 3 attacks, Strength 6, no AP, damage 1, so you might squish a few infantry models there. You can also equip the Vindicator with a Hunter-Killer Missile. This is a one-shot only for the whole game, and at Strength 14, minus 3 AP and D6 damage, it's just a bit of extra bonus damage that you can put into those high toughness models that your opponent may have. And then finally, you can also add the Storm Bolter to the Vindicator, which has Rapid Fire 2 ability, and at Strength 4, no AP and damage 1, this weapon is just for some help against infantry units. Now looking at the weaknesses, the Vindicator has a very slow movement for a vehicle at only 9 inches. You need to be careful of being move blocked and the terrain features around you, as you want to be able to set this model up so that it can have different kinds of targets to shoot at. It also doesn't have a lot of weapons, so you can only really effectively target one enemy unit at a time, and so split firing for this unit is not really an option. Also, this unit probably won't be scoring you many points either, because you will want it to be shooting at those really threatening units that your opponent has. And it also doesn't have a lot of wounds either at 11, so you need to be careful of those high AP, high damage weapons, because if a few of those do go through, the Vindicator won't last for very long. Also, when you have 4 wounds or less, your unit will become degraded. So even though the Vindicator doesn't have a lot of weapons, the Demolisher Cannon is still really strong, especially if you roll quite high on the amount of attacks that you have, at a maximum of 9. The Demolisher Cannon is really great against all forms of infantry, vehicles, monsters, and mounted units that your opponent will have on offer, as it can just strip those wounds very easily, or just take out a lot of models from a large infantry unit. This unit can act as an independent shooter, so if you just need a little bit of extra firepower in there, the Vindicator is a good option for you. And it is still pretty durable at toughness 11 with a 2+ armor save, even though it only has 11 wounds. Also, probably one of the biggest strengths here is that it doesn't care if it is in combat, so that it can be very useful as a charge or move block, and can be a really great frontline screen if you're protecting an objective. So talking about those frontline units, that's kind of the mission play for the Vindicator. It's that frontline vehicle unit that you want to move up the board very quickly, so you can have that array of targets that you'd like to shoot at, and then also its secondary use of being just a move block against combat armies, or just armies with a lot of vehicles like knights, so that they cannot go through terrain features, as that is one of the rules in 40k, and would need to take out the Vindicator first, giving you more time to score primary. Also, I'd say for a majority of lists that the Vindicator is in, it acts as an independent unit, so that means it doesn't really help the mission overall, but it does provide a real risk to your opponent that they will have to take out very quickly, so that it can't just go off and keep killing multiple different infantry units, or just destroying those high toughness models that your opponent will have. So my thoughts on the Vindicator are that this unit is a bit of an odd one, and it is a bit of an old one. But the fact is the weapon is still quite strong, and the unit itself is very simple to use, and this could be very good for beginners that are just starting to play around with the vehicles. Or if you just need an independent strong shooting model or unit, the Vindicator could be good for you because it provides many different options for you on a tabletop. Whether that be just shooting at a large infantry unit or just trying to take out something that has a really high toughness. However, I would say that if you're looking into more divergent Space Marine chapters, the Vindicator isn't a model I would put in many of those chapters. So if you're a generic player, it's great for you, but if you're something like a Blood Angel Space Wolves player, you might want to go down a different route. Thank you for watching this video. If you're enjoying the content, feel free to like, comment, and then subscribe to the channel to help it grow. And also just let me know in the comments whether you think the Vindicator is still a really good unit for its time. And again, thank you all for watching.